Hey guys, it's Matthew from Sling Pilot Academy. Welcome to day 4 of Oshkosh 2024. We're here at the Sling Ding, hanging out with some of our Sling community. Stick around to see some highlights from last night's airshow, some military aircraft and UAVs, a replica Curtiss Hawk by ScaleBirds, and at the end of the day, we stopped by the EAA barn where we ran into a girl who was the 10,000th Young Eagle of her chapter, so we interviewed her to hear about her experience. Enjoy the video. All right, so behind me we got the F-15EX and the F-35. Some pretty awesome fighter jets. Let's go take a look at them. This right here is the unmanned, unpowered Boeing X-40A, the first phase flight test vehicle for the U.S. Air Force Space Maneuver Vehicle program in the 1990s. The program was aimed to develop a small, reusable, and highly maneuverable spacecraft for deploying from satellites and conducting surveillance and logistics missions. It wasn't used. They did a few tests, and as you know, we don't use it now. But it's pretty cool looking. I'm not sure if I'd want to get into one by myself, though. All right, I'm here with Bobby, the lead engineer for MALD. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yes, MALD stands for Miniature Air Launch Decoy. And our job is to launch off of a platform aircraft and either fool or blind an enemy radar. We make the enemy radar see us as a false target that's not really there, so that they shoot at us or track us instead of an actual Air Force aircraft.
Speaking of actual Air Force aircraft, there they go.
But our job is to get shot at instead of the actual aircraft.
So you're keeping the guys safe out there?
We try to bring all of our pilots home. That's our job, keep everybody safe.
Awesome, and have you guys been implementing this a lot? Is it useful or?
Well, we can't really, that's out of my swim lane. My job is to make sure that this missile works when the pilot pushes the button. But in all of our tests, we've been very successful in all of our test flights.
That's great. And you were mentioning something about being able to look like a variety of different aircraft. Is that?
Yes.
How are you able to do that?
We have an electronic payload in the front of the missile. And once we become airborne, we can program a mission to turn that payload on, and we enhance our radar signal, and we can make our missile look as big as an F-16, or if we crank it up all the way, we can look like a B-52 to the enemy radar operator. So it really frightens people when you think you have 3 or 4 B-52s coming at you, and there's actually none.
Yeah, that's got to be pretty intimidating.
Yes.
And confusing. Well, thank you for what you do, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
I'm here with Alicia, who just became the 10,000th Young Eagle in her chapter. How does it feel?
It was pretty amazing. It actually happened, our president says about 2 years ago, so we're now at about 12,000 Young Eagles, but it was pretty epic when it happened. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And what chapter are you part of?
EAA Chapter 40.
And where is that based out of?
San Fernando Valley, which is basically Los Angeles, California.
She's from LA too. Let's go. As a young eagle, what have you gotten to experience?
A lot of amazing airplane rides and with pilots that are from all over, fly all sorts of airplanes. Yeah, the 10,000 flight was actually in an L-39 Albatross.
Are you serious?
Yeah, a friend of a friend. It's actually now the Pink Jet.
Very cool. And do you have any advice out there for kids who might be interested in aviation?
Just come to a chapter. I mean, aviation people, it's the nicest community of people I've ever met. They all want to fly you. I mean, Young Eagles, they want to bring you into aviation. Where there's Young Eagles, there's often also other programs. Like I'm now in our airplane build. I just love hanging around the chapter. Almost getting my pilot's license soon, so.
Very cool. And what are your plans for later?
I want to be a robotics engineer, NASA test pilot, and eventually NASA astronaut.
Very cool. Well, if she becomes an astronaut, this is going to be a pretty cool interview.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started in the Young Eagles?
I would have been 15.
And how old are you now?
18.
And you almost got your private?
Yeah.
Very cool. Is there anywhere you're looking forward to go flying by yourself or with a friend for the first time?
I really want to take my best friends since elementary school up and my parents, and then I can't wait to fly around where I'm going to college, which is in Houghton, Michigan.
Very cool. Well, thank you for doing this today, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
I'm here with Scott from ScaleBirds. What can you tell us about this beautiful plane behind us?
So the first thing to know about this is that this is a 5/8 scale light sport replica of the Curtiss Hawk series. This one's a radial engine P-36 Hawk, but you can also build it as a P-40 Warhawk.
And you said light sport, so someone with basic med could fly this?
Yeah, as this is flying right now, this is light sport eligible. It's a EAB, so experimental amateur built, but you can fly it under light sport rules.
What can you tell me about how complicated it was trying to reduce the size of this plane to make what we have behind us?
It is an effort. It's a large amount of work to take what's a big plane and make it small and still fit a human that's full size or not, maybe a little larger. But we started with it as a clean sheet airplane, and then we made it look like a fighter versus trying to take a fighter and scale it directly down every detail. So the wing is all new airfoil and geometry. The cockpit and cabin is designed to be a modern light sport airplane. Everything about it is new, but the styling is very well reverent to the original.
So I assume it'd be, I don't know, a lot easier to operate something like this than the actual version.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a modern sport plane and it flies like a modern sport plane. Very agile, but it has good stall characteristics. It's not a complex airplane at all. This has fixed gear, whereas if you wanted to go beyond that, you could install retracts and all that, but then that makes it more complex. So it's just what does the builder want.
And I noticed here that the aircraft is made of multiple materials. Could you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so the primary construction is all riveted aluminum, which is typical for a lot of light sport aircraft. But there are composite pieces like the wing tips and the cowling, and there are fabric covered control surfaces, which is a very authentic original method of doing things. Beyond that, we have a steel tube frame up around the cockpit. So a welded steel tube frame provides good crash protection. And the way it's built is we're just melding the best material for the job.
And is this the only model you do, or what other planes do you make like this?
So we're launching ScaleBirds with the P-40 and the P-36 Hawk. There's three kind of models that use the same kit, and it just depends on which engine choices you want to use, what kind of cowling and model you do specifically. Beyond that, we're doing a Hellcat as well.
And where are you guys based out of?
We're out of Connecticut, so New England area, southeastern Connecticut.
And where are you guys based out at the show here?
We are at the home built section. This is booth 632. So the home built alley with all the other EABs and everything else.
All right, come check these guys out. It's pretty cool to look at. Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and drop us a comment to let us know what you want us to check out next.